In video number 3, we're going to talk a little bit more about the terminology. So we're going to talk about shadowing and the cosmic superclass. So again, if you understand all of this and you can read it and be fine, then you can do that. However, if you want to follow along, you are more than welcome to for video 3. Shadowing is when you have a state variable in the subclass and a state variable in the superclass with the same name. So if we had put balance in savings account and balance in bank account, this would be called shadowing. It is unpleasant. I recommend you find different variable names like savings balance and bank balance. So the workaround is right in here. You are free to look at it, but I'm going to move on since you can come up with different variable names. We're going to look at shadowing within a method. So in this example, in our signature, we have a method, and it's going to intake an integer z. If you look down here at the state variables, we also have a state variable called z. Remember, usually in here we would say like, int a equals z, and then move on with a. So a would be our state variable. But here, we're calling on z, which is part of our signature. Again, you don't need to do this. I really don't recommend doing this. Do not have your input in your signature be the same as your state variable. So the confusion lies when you have z++. Is z looking to our signature from the input, or is it looking to our state variable? So if you have z++, it automatically goes to the local z, which was in your signature. But what if you want to increase your instance variable, this one down here? Use this. So you're going to this instance variable dot z and setting it equal to something else. Or you could do this dot z++ if you wanted to increment it. So z++ goes into that one. This dot z goes into this one. Are you confused? Great. I want you to be confused a little bit by this because it's ridiculous to name your state variable the same as the variable you name up here. You can name this variable anything you want. You can name it Timbuktu. You could name it Frank. You could name it Miss Spaunhorst as long as it's all one word. It really doesn't matter. Pick different names. This is a lot of things to remember. Now that we're all clear and we agree not to be ridiculous, let's talk about the cosmic superclass. And before we start, it's actually called the cosmic superclass. Every class that already exists in Java, without having to say extends, automatically inherits all of the attributes of the cosmic superclass, which is pretty much the grand poobah of Java. Right here we have listed the 4 main methods of our class. The ones that we use the most are these first 2 right here. You probably recognize toString. So I'm throwing these out there because remember earlier when we did equals and it tests if 2 variables are references of the same object, but it doesn't actually check to make sure they're the same. So we actually created our own equals. We did an override of this equals to be what we wanted it to be. So in Java, you can use the toString method, you can use the equals method, or you can actually create your own methods that have the same names that override the cosmic superclass. Oh, isn't it kind of cool you've been overriding the cosmos this whole time and you had no idea? That's what I'm saying. That's all we're going to talk about, the cosmic superclass and shadowing. You're welcome to move on to video 4 of lesson 35.